This show is not safe for work. If you have sensitive ears, this is your first and last warning, because it's time for the MythWits, the show dedicated to all things geek pop culture, drenched in complete absurdity and coated heavily with sarcasm. We bring you news and interviews from the ever-expanding Geekoverse. We also bring extensive on-location con coverage. We do our damnedest to be funny, but there are no guarantees. Continuing beyond this point is probably a bad idea. I'm your host, Peter Bryant. Joining me this week and most weeks are my team of trained monkeys. Our oh-so-tricksy game master, Mike Kafis. Say hi, Mike. The man with the golden voice, Brian Olvera.
Hey.
Our cosplay diva extraordinaire, Allegriana, will not be joining us tonight. Our guest tonight what?
Is she busy with Thanksgiving?
Yeah, she's busy with Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving, oh. Tonight we are joined by artist extraordinaire Ben Bishop. Hey Ben,
hello.
Welcome to the show. So Mike, you kind of stepped on my opening there, but we hadn't practiced it, so that's okay. I'll let you go with it this time.
Sorry, buddy. That's what happens when you surprise us with your hot openings.
Yeah, what'd you think of that? Pretty cool, huh?
I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah.
So, for those who... What? Go ahead.
No, it's so funny. I hear you in the other room before you're talking now. Anyway, because I am live in the basement of Doom here at Blick Central. But I, of course, I had to ask, because this hot opening is so different, I still have to ask about the safety and the of this show and comparing it to what it is and is not safe for. So we're going to have to find a way to work that in. Just
do it after the introductions are all done.
All right. Well, do you want to introduce Ben then, and then we can jump into that, or?
I just did. Oh, okay. Oh, sure. All right. So, sorry, folks. We're flying a little crazy tonight. Our guest tonight is Ben Bishop. He's a very awesome artist, up and coming. He's had a couple books out, and just recently started following him on Facebook and checking out his artwork that he draws every day, because this guy draws every day and puts stuff up. It's pretty good. I'm becoming a fan, Ben. Thank you very much.
A real fan in real life.
Yeah, real life, actual fan. I'm really digging your work.
Cool, thank you.
Absolutely, it's awesome. So, Mike, you wanted to ask about something?
Well, you know what? Screw you. I'm not going to defer to you. I'm going to defer to Ben now. Ben,
Okay.
What's up?
as somebody who seems like he's reasonable, who's responsible, you run your own business, art and books and things like that, and as a purveyor of this show, would you say that this show, because we're not safe for work, would you say that we may be safe for, I don't know, like soft-core pokey porn, or where do you think this show falls in the spectrum of safeness for things like of such?
You're gonna have to define pokey porn for everyone who's not around.
Well, I mean, pokey porn, that's where you grab two pokeballs and, you pit them against each other. You knock them together.
Knock them together.
That's
So
right.
knocking balls together?
Hey, the balls are touching.
That's right.
I think you just answered your own question. This is a good level. We probably shouldn't go above that.
Okay.
And it wouldn't be fun at all to go lower than that.
Okay.
I'm all for swearing in inappropriate times and halfway up my now. Fun.
Yeah. I want to make sure that everyone feels safe for pokey porn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to catch anything that you weren't expecting.
Right.
You
gotta catch them all.
Catch them.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
So there'll be some soundboard tonight. I'm trying it out. People. So just bear with me.
I thought I had an ad playing in the background or something. That's cool.
So okay, so Ben, I'm gonna get right into it. So we had some images that you sent me. and I'm going to start with your first big break, the one that we talked about this. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, we had a show last week that didn't go over so well. And I was kind of hoping somebody would be in the room to say, hey, we can hear you this time. But at any rate, we tested the settings before, so we should be good. So you had a book called Lost Trail, and you said that was the one that kind of launched you into kind of being discovered in a way and kind of getting more work and getting out there and networking and stuff. So tell us about Lost Trail. What is that, and how did that come about?
Lost Trail is one of the more recent ones, and by recent, I'd say 2011. But maybe we should talk about what happened before Lost Trail, how I got to Lost Trail and stuff.
Oh, sure.
Like that. That's cool with you guys. It's kind of
the trail of Lost.
Yeah, we'll go back down the trail. So basically, I've been drawing since I was like 4. I call myself a comic book creator because I do the writing and the illustrating. And in 2004, I started work on my first book, which it all leads to Lost Trail.
Right. I'm sorry. Nathan the Caveman,
okay.
Right? Yeah.
Nathan the Caveman here. Took me 4 years to work on. I wrote it, I illustrated it, and I self-published it. And when I was done with that, I was kind of hoping it would be, my back door into comics, kind of like, hey, I'll do something big and, important and cool, and people will say, hey, that guy can finish a project and he's pretty good at drawing. Maybe we should have him draw Spider-Man or something. And that didn't happen. A couple of years went by after I finished Nathan the Caveman and did that 4 years of hard work, and nothing really happened until 2011. I finally got a call from some people to work on a book as an artist, not as the full creator of the actual story, because this is a real story. It's a true story. Lost on a Mountain in Maine is this famous Maine story about this kid, Don Fendler. He's not a kid anymore, but way back in, when was it? I totally forget.
Back in the day.
36? This is terrible that I remember. Anyway, he's 87 now. You guys can do the math. He was 12 years old and he got lost on Mount Katahdin for 9 days. I think it was 36. And he found his way out, and now they read this book in schools alongside the other books. So it's kind of, like you were saying, one of my larger breaks thus far in the comic book world. And that has led to a lot more freelance and commissions and things like that, keeping me really busy. But again, that was in 2011, so It's been a while since I've been working on anything.
Right, and you can't just sit when you're an artist or a creator of some sort. You can't just sit on your last project for a long time, because you're only as good as your last thing, right? You got to keep moving.
And something that kind of irks me as a creator, and I'm sure a lot of people do this too, or feel like this, is when you're doing a project like Lost Trail or like someone else's story that they say it has to pay this much, it has to be done by this date. You don't necessarily get to do your best work and spend the time that you want to on it and actually, truly love the story as you're working on it. Like, I've grown to love it, obviously, as it's been out, and thousands of kids have the book and love it and color and all the drawings, and it's really cool. But when you're working on something that's your own, like Nathan the Caveman or a big project, you can really, just lose yourself in it. And so going back to what you were saying about sitting on your last project and you're only as good as your last work, it's almost disheartening every now and then, because I could have done much better on some of these projects that I was getting paid for, because if they were paying what I needed to be paid, you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
So you kind of make sacrifices because it has to be done in a certain amount of time. Like this book, for example, Lost Trail, is 75 pages, and I did the whole book in 3 months.
Ooh.
So I was racing. So I mean, it was a testament. It was a testament to what I could do, which is cool, because now I can say, like, okay, yeah, you need that project done. I know I can do something that quickly. But I really wish it could have been up to par with what I'm putting out these days.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, because so I did an art project. I do some freelance art every now and then. I haven't done it in a long time because I've been busy with other things. And that's not my mainstay like it is with you.
Yeah.
But this guy, your buddy Jay, was working with Mike Pondsmith of Cyberpunk, and he was putting out a new Cyberpunk book. And Jay says, hey, he wants to hire me for some art, and you know, I told him I only want to do it if you came along, because I kind of gave him some pointers and stuff on how to use Photoshop and all that. And so anyway, cut to the chase. He says, "Yeah, I want 8. We need 8 pieces, and you got a week to get it done." And these are like, I was like, what? 8 pieces in a week? And he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm going to do the other 20." I was like, "You're going to do 20 pieces of art in a week?" And he was just like, yeah. And I was like, and no offense to Jay, I mean, he's not really super happy with that one project anyway because of that tight deadline, but it looks like it. It looks like we rushed it. And it was just like, I have that book, I have my own copy of it, but I don't pull it out and show people. I kept the copy. It's like, this is not my finest work.
I'm aware of the fact that, like, to know I'm my own worst critic, you know, and everybody is. Like, most people, Lost Trail looks fine, and they love it. But I look at it, and I'm like, oh, I could have done such a better job. And the stuff I'm working on now, you know, that I can really invest the time in, it's really nice. And you can tell the difference. It's almost like it's a different artist. So when that stuff finally comes out, my newer stuff, I think people are going to be like, holy crap, he got better in a really short amount of time.
Well, you've really improved over the years.
Yeah, we'll talk to you in a year and see how you are. Yeah.
Right. So you know, last time when we tried this, we didn't spend a whole lot of time talking about Patreon, but I definitely want to get into that tonight and talk a little bit about it, because now you've had a few weeks, you know, working with it, and now you said that you had thought about doing a Kickstarter. Right, you got into this whole electronic, trying to raise money to support the artist, and you know, and be creative and be able to get paid to do what it is that you do. So tell me what you know, how did that go for you? Like, you started with Kickstarter, right? You were thinking about that.
Yeah. So basically, going back a little bit as an introduction for people who weren't listening to my half last week.
The only half you could listen to.
As I've been mentioning a few times, the last project that I did for myself was really it was published in 2008, so it was a long, long time ago. And that led to new projects like Lost Trail, which my boyfriend is a superhero or my dog is a monster, and things like that. Freelance, I do cartoons for an aviation magazine, and so I'm constantly busy juggling all these different things, Pokemon balls, if you will, and trying to fit in the time to do stuff that I like, because I have a lot of stories of my own too, and I've had stories in my head since Nathan the Caveman. I started this book called Something Like Falling, which is going to be 600 pages when it's done. But I only got to page 45, and that was way back in 2010, because I couldn't, you know, justify spending an entire day on a page, not to mention like the roughs and the writing and just the thought process, when it wasn't paying anything, and knowing I was going to have to do that for another 500 or so pages. So more recently I've been going a little bit crazy, just wanting to get one of my own stories off the ground. And so, as you were talking about, I started thinking pretty realistically about a Kickstarter, and I started doing tons of research. I dove into, you know, how to have the best Kickstarter, what kind of rewards I could offer, and things like that. Because I have this story called The Aggregate, which we'll drop the link for, but it's facebook.com/theaggregatecomic, aggregate like The Rock, you get it, the dump. But I really wanted to get that story done, and I started doing all this research on Kickstarter, and I knew no matter what I'd want to wait till after the holidays, because that's the best season for Kickstarters, is not during Christmas and things like that. But as I was doing all this intense research, I discovered Patreon, which I had never heard about, and even a lot of people I talked to had never heard about. But basically, Patreon is, you either set it so every time I make a creation, every time I do a comic book update, you give me whatever you want, like a tip jar or like a hat as you're playing guitar on the street. Like, you throw a buck in if you want. So they have tiers where you can donate $1 of support to be a patron of the arts. Mine's set up so it's every month, because basically I look at my set of expenses every month and I say, okay, well, I look at that like that's 4 commissions or 4 dogs as monsters or boyfriends as superheroes. So I need to, you know, take out one of those or take out 2 of those. So whatever I get every month to work on the aggregate essentially offsets those other commissions or freelance things that I would have had to been doing. So yeah, I've been on Patreon for just a few weeks now, and I've got 13 people supporting me every month. Not supporting me as in floating me. I'm still working and doing commissions because I'm still at a level that I can't really, dive into the aggregate, but it's definitely helping clear my brain knowing that I'm going to have around 140 of support coming in every month to, that knocks down at least one commission at this point.
Right.
So that's like two or four more people than last week, right?
Yeah, I even got another one today. So.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
I'm basically drawing from my friends though, like on Facebook. Like I have a lot of Facebook friends, whether they're real friends or not. And so it's a fine line between like bombarding them. Anyone who runs a Kickstarter knows like they usually deal with that towards the end of their Kickstarter and they feel apologetic about it. But with Patreon, you kind of gotta like stay on top of it almost all the time. And so I've been trying to think of different ways to kind of get the word out. So shows like this really cool. Some forums, maybe, I'm not sure.
And we'll put a link. I was setting this show up with Mike, and I was trying to go through the process. So the link is not there right this minute, but either later on tonight or tomorrow, I'll set up the link. I'll set up all the links and stuff in there. So if you're watching this show live now, the links will be up in a little bit. But if you're watching this in rerun, they should already be there. It's like time travel. It's like timey-wimey.
.com and /Bishart, BISHART.
Yep.
So
and we'll do that
pretty,
tonight before we end up. So
cool.
yeah, so we could, it's Bishart, BISHART.net, and then Facebook is facebook.com/The Aggregate Comic, and then of course patreon.com/Bishart. And
we had talked a little bit about this. We talked a little bit about this last week, where Patreon has been really big in the podcasting community, and a lot of shows are choosing to go with that Patreon type, value for value model instead of taking advertising dollars, and it seems to be working for them as well. I could see where in the podcasting community, though, they are able to do their own self-advertising on their show in order to gain the people, and they have a listenership of which a small portion is would be at any time Patreoning, if you will, but at any time you still have that. Yes, I like to make verbs all the time. So you have these people, this pool of people that are still listening to you, and they could still at any time make a choice. I'm seeing a challenge for you, or for the artist, though, because other than in some piece you do where you write, you can do my Patreon, as your work is out there, which obviously would detract from the actual work itself, but I can see where that's a little bit more of a challenge. So I'm not saying I have any advice for you. I'm just saying it's I don't know. I think that's interesting.
Yeah. From here with Patreon is not easy. Like you were saying, it would be easier with I've built my audience already, kind of, to a certain degree, whether it's Instagram and Twitter and things like that, and so those people can check it out and they already know who I am. The way I have my Patreon set up now, well, first of all, I'm doing a lot of rewards, like real actual stuff that you choose to support every month. A lot of digital stuff, like you get a digital high five and a pat on the back, and you're part of something good. Like I'm sending real artwork to people, real prints to people signed. I have a thing on there right now. I found 4 copies of a sketchbook that I thought was sold out that I had, and so those are up there, and they're only $5. And then after you get that sketchbook, you get a print every single month going forward. So I've got like real cool stuff that hopefully they'll be telling their friends about and things like that. But none of those things take away from, I thought this was supposed to support him making this certain comic, because they're all stuff I'm doing anyway. Like I have to do commissions. I have to draw Ninja Turtles like 3 times a week, and so I'll be giving those drawings out. And not to mention I have a giant pile of those things that I've done in the past years that I'd love to get into people's houses and on their walls and things like that.
Right.
I just think it's a great structure, and I was really excited when I found out about Patreon. It's created by this guy who was on YouTube. He's a musician, really popular band. He had something like 10 or whatever you call them on YouTube, but he was only making like $10 a month in the ad sales, and so he was like, this isn't right. Like, I have all these people watching, and they want me to make a video, and they want me to sing songs about whatever, but I can't do that for $10. So he just started this kind of on his own, and then it spread to bloggers and other artists now. And I guess the last thing, I'm rambling, but the last, as far as comics go, Patreon just bumped out Indiegogo as the #2 most popular crowdfunding for comic books.
Oh yeah, okay,
so they're
cool.
right behind Kickstarter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Indiegogo,
Okay.
I don't. Indiegogo was that's kind of an interesting thing. I mean, from what I was reading, so this since I did a Kickstarter, I started meeting other people that do Kickstarters and stuff like that, and started hanging out in Kickstarter crowds on YouTube and stuff, or not YouTube, I'm sorry, on Facebook and such, and.
Yeah.
So there was this one guy, Mark, and he does he does a lot of Kickstarters. He does one about every like 3 or 4 months. That's like basically his business. Mm-hmm. And he did this one where he started an Indiegogo and a Kickstarter at the same time, and they were basically the same project. They weren't exactly the same, but they were the same kind of thing. So there were 2 board games that were very similar to one another. He did exact same number of promotions and promoted in all the same places. He was doing a test, basically. So he did all the same stuff he did for one that he did for the other, and he said he made 3 times as much on Kickstarter as he did on Indiegogo. And
that's because people have heard of Kickstarter. They trust Kickstarter.
Right. And there's a lot of click-through. So you go into Kickstarter and you like something, it's always like, well, hey, you like this, you should check out that. And your friend liked this. So you go, oh, my friend liked that, so let me go check it out. They have a really good support mechanism built into Kickstarter.
Yeah,
one
it's a social part.
Yeah. I was just going to say one thing that Patreon is lacking is their web area. Like, you can't really search other projects, and I tried searching through comics and it only listed like 10 or 12, and then the page just didn't go down anymore. But it's all they're blowing up, like I guess too much money is being shared or supported every single month, and last year it was something like 20,000, and this year it's over 1 million already. So
wow.
So they're getting bigger faster, so hopefully they tackled their weak areas on the web there.
Ben,
to do that kind of.
What does Patreon take? What percentage are they taking of your take for their for their model?
I don't know what they're taking. I think it was like 1% or something like that, maybe 5 tops.
That's not bad. Yeah.
No, and it's just like PayPal. I think they said that they wanted to be really careful about how much they were taking, because then it would eat the whole purpose. And so I think that they decided to take just the same amount that PayPal would, or something like that, or less than PayPal. I have to read it again.
Okay.
But I actually haven't even gotten, because I haven't got to that first month yet, so I haven't been through the entire 1 month process. So I might get to the end of this month and see that I have 13 people and I'm supposed to get a certain amount of money, and then just be like, what the hell? So who knows? But
Right. Well, I'm hoping it works out for you, because it sounds like it's a good model for artists. I know one of our friends, Dave Simpson, he's using Patreon, and I don't know. I need to talk to him sometime about this and see how well he's doing, because I know he's got people. As a matter of fact, I'm one of his top level supporters, because one of the things that he offered was advertisement on his podcast. So he has a video podcast he does on YouTube as well, and he has he gets more viewership than we get. So I was like, well, it's a good way to spread the word, get our word out. So I sent him a commercial, and so every month he puts our commercial in every one of his videos. So I hope it's helping us. I don't know.
It's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that works out.
Patreon, and most of the people that actually, most of the people that support on Patreon, from what I've read, aren't looking for anything in return, which I thought was interesting. They did like all these case studies, and it was mostly people like street crews of a band, want to be a part of whatever that band was creating or whatever that comic artist was creating. So to have things like that ad or, real artwork coming in the mail, it's just like an added bonus, I think, like to actually say, no, it's important, and I don't want you to feel like you're paying my bills, like you're getting something every month. If it's important to you to get something every month, like by all means, it's important to me. So.
Yeah, Mike, when we were growing up, so Mike and I live in the same town, and we've been buddies forever. We used to go to punk shows together, and and remember, you go to a punk show, and you whatever band you went to, every time you saw them, it was all the same crew, like all the same people. There would always be this, like, I don't know, 100 or 200 people that would show up for that band every time. And I could see how Patreon would be great because those guys get up on stage and they're, talking. And it's like, all right, make sure you support us on Patreon and blah, blah. They're going to get, no, I'm serious. They're going to get $1 from every one of those probably. Because these are guys that will buy anything they put out.
And it's $1. It's like, okay, and it comes out automatically out of your PayPal if you want it to. And so you don't even notice it,
Right.
And it doesn't make a big difference to you, but when your number of, I have 14 supporters, goes up to 15, goes up to 16, like people look at that and they're like, wow, there's 100 people supporting this guy. He must be cool, even though 100 people are giving $1,
Right.
It just
right. And it's like I think you're on the right track, though, as far as not just saying, hey, support my art and just, for supporting me, you get the privilege of seeing things. I think like they were saying before, like the Patreon model is a value for value. So you're giving something to people. You're even each month or for each person, like you were saying, even if it's just this month, if you had subscribed, you will get this. And if you subscribe next month, you might even get something else. Or every, subscribe for 6 months, and I will give you this. You'll get something out of it. I think that's important. Not just, I think artists that are going to just be like, well, thank you for supporting me. You have the privilege of supporting me. No, that's not value for privilege. It's value for value. So.
Yeah, and I've been trying to really make it, at this point, because people don't know what Patreon is like they do with Kickstarter. I've been trying to make it as Kickstarter-esque as possible. So I have a lot of things in there that, like real actual rewards, like I said.
Stretch goal type things.
Yeah, there's stretch goals. There's, when we get to this $300 amount, like I'm going to take a pile of suggestions on who I should draw, this month, and then I'll do that as one of my, fun days. And then I'll be giving that drawing out to one of the people who is at that certain number on my Patreon. You know what I mean? Like if they're donating this amount of money, they get a drawing, and they could get the one that everyone voted on, which would be pretty cool. And I also have the top, or at the very bottom of the list, picture from Office Space. I just snazzed up my Patreon. You guys should check it out with a bunch of images. But you can be my big boss. You can be the boss for as long as you want. You can do it for 1 month if you wanted. And basically you get to tell me what to draw. You get to say, draw my Boston Terrier as a superhero or whatever you want, and I'll draw it every that month, and then you get the drawing, and then next month maybe you need something else. So if you had a business and you needed logos and you needed whatever, you could get that for a fraction of what I would normally charge. So I'm essentially just making really cheap buttons to buy stuff from me on my Patreon.
All right, you're gonna see a hit from us because it's funny you should say that. I want to work on a new logo for us. I want to have something like me, Mike, Brian, and Allegra on top of the myth. So you have the word MythWits, and you have that red splash we have behind it, and then I kind of like us coming up out of the top of that with our different poses, but as cartoon art, as like a monochrome thing, something we could put on a T-shirt. I thought that would be kind of cool, and something we could, something that would snazz our logo up and put us in the logo. I thought that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, you're not the boss of me yet, but yeah.
What's that?
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Listen, Ben, you don't want to do that. You don't want to draw some bullshit shit like that. I will be your boss. You will have the privilege of drawing me having sex with a Pokemon.
Oh my god! Oh, dude.
There's only one spot available on that big boss on Patreon. So one of you better claim that.
Wait a minute.
Mike, are you gonna put that? Are you gonna put that on a shirt
Oh,
too?
cool, man. I just started playing the new one.
Oh, wait a minute, what's this? Let me see, Brian. Hold that up.
Oh, I just tossed it. It's the new Pokemon
Sorry. Okay,
game.
never mind. Oh, your new Pokemon game. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, Brian, weren't you the one? Didn't you go to a convention recently and they had like a special Pokemon thing going on? Was that Pokemon?
Yeah. At A-Fest, Nintendo sent some like beta 3DSs to certain members of the staff, and you had to actively look for these people. And when you find them, they give you these eggs and items, and it's these Pokemon you can't even get in the States at all. So I thought that was kind of neat.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But you can listen to our what episode was it? That was our A-Con wrap up,
A-Fest.
right? Yeah. Or A-Fest, sorry, A-Fest.
A-Fest, yeah.
All right, so Ben, something we skipped over when we were talking about, and this I remember from the last episode. This was really cool, and I wanted to hit back up on this. Was the hold on, let me get back to this because I clicked on Patreon and got away from my thing. It was Nathan the Caveman. You talked about.
Right.
Let's talk about the concept of that again because it was a really coal concept. I mean, I really thought that was awesome.
Okay, we'll go back in time, literally.
Right.
So I had just moved to Maine from New Hampshire in 2004, right out of high school, to go to Maine College of Art here in Portland, Maine. And in my art history class, this was like the second day of school or something, they take you down to the Portland Museum of Art, and there's a basement slide lecture where they're going through everything we're going to talk about that year in class. And so they're going through like Picasso, Bauhaus, Renaissance, like all these different art movements and people and things like that. And when the teacher got to cave painting, she said, cave painting is the first form of art. We have no idea why they did it, like why certain cavemen would lock themselves away and paint on walls instead of, going out and hunting and doing whatever cavemen do, discovering fire and whatnot. And so I left the slide lecture and was like, well, that's kind of weird. She would just skip right over it, or that history would just kind of skip right over it and say, well, why didn't they figure out why certain cavemen, told stories on walls? And so the more and more I thought about it, I was like, I can't be the first one to wonder this. And I said, maybe it's just an obvious answer. Maybe it's the same reason today that, we have poets or musicians or artists. We have, comic book artists. Why I go insane if I'm not drawing at least once a day or all the time is because there's just creative people, or even if it's not a creative thing, it's like carry your kids or mowing the lawn. Like some people have these things that they just have to do, and I think even back then we had those things. So I wrote this book, Nathan the Caveman. It's 2 stories essentially. It kind of bounces back and forth between this guy Nathan and the caveman here, and it's about why people make art and the importance of art and learning from it so we don't move forward through time acting like cavemen, because the whole point of doing something was so that we can learn from it. And it's basically a 300-page love story when it boils down to it, because it's about either doing what you love or being with the person you love. So cool. It's very sappy. I was in the newspaper, and the headline was sensitive new age illustrator, so I've been listed as that. So,
you've been labeled. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I've been labeled.
Oh, boy.
It is what it is. That's what it is.
So now, what is your demographic that Nathan the Caveman is aimed toward? What is the?
Oh, well, that one killed it. Like, and I was in that whole zone too. It killed it with very young, like, hipster couples. I met a ton of people when I started doing the shows, like New York Comic Con and things like that, and they would come over and they would, buy a few books, buy shirts. They would like have me draw something for their wedding invitation and things like that. And so it really hit with like the romancy people who loved The Notebook, and couples who are okay with saying even he loved The Notebook, and I don't know, and it was, I like The Notebook, but I haven't watched it in minutes. I don't know. It was that, and I haven't.
Hey! I'm surprised it didn't fall into Oprah's book club of the month. You get a caveman, and you get a caveman.
Man, that would have been great. But I don't even have a barcode on the back because it's so self-published that I literally sent them all out. The first printing was all paid for by people taking pre-orders on Facebook. I would say, okay, I'm on page 200, 201, 202, and then by the time I got to the end, I had generated enough steam that it was all pre-ordered, the entire first wave of the first printing, which is kind of like how I look at the Patreon now, is what people are going to be doing with the aggregate, is
Right.
constantly be updating them. They're going to get the sketches, they're going to get behind the scenes stuff.
And we talked a little bit about this last week. We'll just do a quick summary of this. That the way like Nathan the Caveman is that you were, I think, is it 25 orders or so, or you wait until you get a certain amount of orders, you send off to a print on demand, who then ships them to you, and then you ship them out, right? And you said you get a better return on that.
Yeah. The printer I go through, the first few printings of Nathan the Caveman were through Lulu.com, where I would just upload a PDF and I could order one if I wanted to, but the quality was really terrible. And sometimes they'd be printed by, the Terminator in Oklahoma. It was just all machine. Like, I would have no idea where it was coming from or what it was going to look like. And
Dot matrix.
Yeah, there's different paper. Like, sometimes the middle pages would be a different paper. But anyway, now the printer I use now is a human being, and he's in New York, and his only rule is 25 minimum. So I do have like 3 or 4 lingering orders where I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just waiting for 20 or so more orders before I can get you your book. Okay. I actually just went onto my website and realized that they're all still for sale, so I had to throw up sold out on them so I could stop refunding people. And so that's a bummer, but hopefully the aggregate hits it big and I can afford to self-publish him.
Tell us more about the aggregate. I think we talked a little bit about it, but give us some history about that.
Sure. So the aggregate started with this idea I had with my brother. Actually, it was literally like 50-50 his idea a long time ago. It was maybe 2009 or maybe 2011, and he had been watching a lot of that history show, Life After People, and what the world would be like if people just disappeared, how vegetation would overtake things, cats would live up in buildings and turn into flying squirrels because they were living up so high, and scorpions would get huge, right. And so he was really, really engulfed and like amazed by the science of what things would actually be like in the future. So we knew we wanted to do like some post-apocalyptic story. But that's basically all it was kind of this deserty Mad Max giant scorpion flying cat thing. And
squirrels.
And he sat, in the drawer forever because we didn't have time to work on it. And so more recently, like I said, I've been going a little crazy, so I decided to, rethink the whole idea, and I started thinking about Power Rangers of all things. And how, there's one guy who operates the leg and one guy who operates the arm, and I was like, how does that work and why? Like, why is that guy the left arm? Why is that guy the right leg? And so I combined the whole Power Ranger thing with the whole Mad Max thing, and you kind of get the aggregate, and it's this story about... You telling me to time out?
No. I'm doing a robot. Sorry. I'm doing a robot.
We have no sound again.
No, I'm sorry.
So it's basically this...
Sorry, Ben. Sorry about that.
This story about these 5 genetically engineered terrorists who were created by the government, to operate this giant robot that would, depopulate the Earth back to, an amount of people that the Earth could actually handle. But that all goes to hell. It doesn't happen, and these guys end up going into this sleep mode, and they're separated all across the Earth. The apocalypse ends up happening anyway because the government was right and the Earth couldn't handle everything that was happening to it. But these guys slept through it, and the group that was watching over them kind of survived and became, they went from being rebels who stopped the government from destroying the Earth to being kind of like monks and looking at these individuals as almost gods. And then suddenly they all wake up one day, 1,000 years later, and all start heading back towards the buried giant robot. And they're going to just do it all again as soon as the Earth starts to pick itself up. So it's kind of like 2 apocalypses.
One apocalypse right on top of the other.
Yeah.
Apocalypse part 2.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Apocalypse now and then.
Yeah. Right. There goes the other one.
And then okay, so that sounds really cool, and I may even post some screenshots up from that you sent me if that's okay with you. at some point on the website, just to give people an idea. Now, you also have this thing called TSOSV, the Shape of Sound. You had Volume 1 and Volume 2, and I know you currently have Volume 2 up on the web, right? Do you have both of them up at this point?
Actually, so Volume 1 is the one that I just discovered, which you can get on my Patreon. There's only 4 left in existence, including this one.
Okay.
And it's basically it's a 90 or so page, I think 95-page sketchbook of everything I did in between, odd jobs, commissions, freelance. There's, I think there's a 10-page preview of Nathan the Caveman in here. There's a 20-page preview of Something Like Falling. So there's a lot in there, and like I said, it's on my Patreon. It's only $5, and after you get that book, which will be signed and also have a little sketch in it, you get the normal $5 reward going forward. TSOSV2, The Shape of Sound Volume 2, is the same thing. It's another sketchbook, everything I did in between all my jobs, but this one's in full color, and it's over 200 pages. I think it's 290. And this has obviously a lot newer stuff. It's got X-Men, Spider-Man, Ben 10, Ninja Turtles. It's also got 45 pages of Something Like Falling, my other book that is at this moment in standby mode. Plus it has 5 rounds of sample pages that I've done for Marvel. I've been back and forth with Marvel since 2011, where I would get a script, do the script, they give me revisions and feedback, and I understand, and that's been going on a really, really long time. So I'm still working on it, but all those are in there, which is pretty cool.
Well, wait a minute, that's not your first. Go ahead,
what?
Mike. I was going to say that.
No, I was going to say
that was good.
Hey, Pete, I'll talk first. That has been a goal of yours, right? That you really do want to be a comic book artist. You want to be the guy who was penning and inking Spider-Man.
Yeah, I wrote to Marvel, I don't know, when I was 11 years old, asking for a job. Marvel Comics, I believe I'm very good at drawing. Tell me what you think of these drawings. So that's in Shape of Sound Volume 1, and in the second one is actually their response, where they
responded, okay.
Yeah, which was awesome in 1997 for an 11-year-old kid to get the envelope back with Spider-Man on the cover. And they said, "You're showing great work for your age group. Keep sharpening your skills and call us when you graduate high school."
Excelsior!
So it was not as easy as calling them up when I graduated high school, that's for sure. But
right. And you're still working on it, right? I mean, but you never know. You could get a call tomorrow.
That'd be cool. I think that they're looking at the aggregate stuff right now. I have a box.com folder, and I got it to them, and I saw that somebody downloaded it, so who knows?
Huh.
If
you could draw any comic book character, in any genre, who you most want to draw? Who would that be? Spider-Man or someone else?
You think it's like the only one I ever get to do?
No. If Marvel said, "Kid, you pick whatever you want to do. You got it. You're the artist for whatever you want." What do you pick?
Well, I think I'd pick Spider-Man. I have about as much fun drawing Spider-Man as I do the Ninja Turtles, which are, I think, the most fun to draw because you can do whatever you want. But I'm not too fond of most of the Spider-Man stories that have ever happened. So I would want to make sure it was a decent story. I like what they're doing right now with Spider-Verse and Olivier Coipel. His stuff is nuts. So if I could ride on those coattails, that would be awesome. I like Thor. The big team books are pretty cool. They're obviously more challenging, like Avengers, because there's so much going on, but I think a lot more people buy and read those and kind of glob onto them. So I would think about what most people are going to see, as well as what I owe my 11-year-old self.
Right.
But I think Spider-Man probably. He's really fun with all the poses.
That's cool.
He can do anything.
Yeah.
He can do whatever a spider can do, really.
Right.
Yep.
He can spin a web any size.
Yeah. Catches fiends. Just like flies.
Out of his hand.
Yeah. Out of his hand.
No, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. That's blaspheming.
Spider butt.
I got a message from one of my friends that said that they logged off when we kept talking about Pokemon porn. But
That was like
Just-
2 minutes.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Right.
Just if you needed some analytics for next time.
Yeah.
Ben, I deferred it to you, man.
Yeah.
I told you. You were the deciding factor.
You brought it up.
You brought it up. You brought it up second again.
Yeah.
I brought it up as a sounding board. I mean, we had to have a
bringing it
starting
up.
point.
No, you brought it up in the Patreon thing. Stop bringing it up.
Well, I just brought it up the third time, but
Oh
my
my
friend's
God! Here
gone,
we
so.
go. Tell him to get back on. Tell him no more
Nintendo's
Pokemon.
to our
sex.
asses.
We're gonna have some fun in just a few minutes. I mean, not that this hasn't been fun. This has been a lot of fun, but Mike has a good game for us.
And Pete, I've been trying because this computer is so slow and laggy to try and get onto the MythWits YouTube in order to bring up a special video that we did show last week, but I think we owe the listeners the opportunity to show it again.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So you
I
want
don't
me to
know
do
if
that?
well, because I can't. I mean, it's taking like
I got it.
literally 20 minutes. So if you want, I mean, anytime when we run into the game, we can start that, and I can,
Should I introduce it, or should we explain it after?
I think maybe we should explain it after.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. What do you? No, go ahead. You can explain it ahead of time.
Now is good.
Yeah, I would say now is good. Hold on. Do I still have it in here? Hold on. Let me make sure I gotta find it first. Go ahead and hold on.
Well, I don't want to explain it if you can't find it.
Crap! I hope I didn't get rid of it. Did I get rid of it? I didn't get rid of it, did I?
Oh my God! Spoiler alert! No.
Just give me one second. Sorry, Mike usually cues these things up, but he's having issues with it now, and
There's a lot of build-up to this video now.
yeah, I know it's gonna be.
Everyone's
gonna be a
like,
real
what is it?
letdown.
It's more like spoilage alert.
Hey, just a quick note, since the social media's kind of blown up right now, they finally gave the decision about Officer Darren Wilson for the death of Michael Brown.
Right.
Yeah, they're not going to indict him.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The S is gonna hit the F.
Well, my friend Jonathan said it perfectly. America gets another F.
Right. Well, one of the things I said is that unless you're sitting in the courtroom and stuff and you're there, I mean, it's kind of like, remember the whole when the whole OJ thing happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like, everybody's like, oh no, not everybody. You had people like, some people are like, oh, he's definitely guilty, and other people are like, oh no, he was definitely innocent. It's like honestly, all you people are talking about this, but you weren't sitting in the courtroom. I mean, we have a system, and it's like it or not, it's the best system in the world, and you may not like the results, but you got to trust it. You have to. I mean, it's where we live. So
You don't get to go with what you want. You get to go with what the best decision is based on the evidence.
yeah, we had this kind of justice, where the people got to rule back in the Wild West, and it didn't work out so good.
Nope.
People were even this past 2 centuries, people were killed for being witches. Come on.
Yeah. So I have to apologize. I cannot find it. Maybe I cleaned it out. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, are you sure it's not a private video, right?
Dude, I'm looking. I'm in the thing. I'm not seeing it anywhere. I might have cleaned it out. I was cleaning out some stuff today. All right, so fuck it. We'll skip it. It's not that big a video. It was a Jay Libby video. It wasn't one of his best pieces.
There were voices. There were toys.
Yeah, there were voices and toys and
Maybe we'll come back to it.
and whatnot.
Come on, it was Galactus and Silver Surfer. Oh, you know what? Pete, do a reenactment. You do the reenactment of his reenactment of the video.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Dude, you're upside down. Okay, Mike, hold on. You gotta do Galactus. You're go ahead.
No, you're upside down.
No, dude, totally, dude. You're upside down. Look out, I'm Silver Surfer, man. Silver Surfer.
No way, man. No, it's not me. It's you. You're upside down.
All right,
This is dinner theater, folks.
All right.
So anyway,
That's the video.
so
But it was with toys, not with these guys.
so look, everybody, you got.
Now, Ben, why would that have any significance to you? Because that video was made for you. What is that all about?
Well, when I met Jay, I was doing a free comic book day signing at Newbury Comics, and he bought this print off of me of big Galactus head and Silver Surfer flying through. Silver Surfer is upside down, but Jay insists that it's the other way around, and he hangs it upside down at his house. And because it's in space, it's anybody's game. So,
Right.
So he's talking about that.
Yeah.
It's a cool drawing. It's up on my website somewhere. But
Because in space, nobody can hear you being upside down.
no. In space, no one hears your opinion on who's upside down.
Right side up.
Or
No-
right.
no
It's
one's
not
in the-
upside down, it's right side up.
And no one's in the courtroom with you, right? So, all right. So Ben's stuff is really awesome. I mean, like I said,
yeah.
you know, we interviewed him last week, and I looked at some of his stuff, and I was, you know, I was impressed, but as I've been following him, and he's been posting stuff on a regular basis on Facebook, I've become a real fan of his work. He's a very, very good artist, and he does some really cool stuff. I love the turtle stuff you're doing. It's awesome, and that's with IDW, right? I mean, some of that stuff is official.
Yeah, well, I had this other plan. I come up with all these plans. Like Nathan the Caveman was going to be the back door into comics, you know, prove to them my worth by doing a 300-page graphic novel, which didn't pan out yet. And so my other plan was to do all these fake Ninja Turtle comic covers and plaster them all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And so I did 2 of them, and then I was at the Boston Comic Con, and I was talking to someone who's become a friend, Ben Templesmith, and he was like, "Your turtle stuff is amazing." He's like, "You're doing that for IDW, right?" And I said, "No, I'm doing these to you know get noticed by IDW to kind of tell them or have them send me a cease and desist, whatever it takes." Like, and he said, "Oh, that's crap." He goes, "This is amazing. I'll talk to them." And that very day, I got an email from Chris Ryle at IDW who said, "Hey, your turtle stuff's good. You should do a cover for us." And I was like, "Sweet." And so then after a very long amount of months, many, many months, I finally got one done for them, and they liked it, and it's been approved, and I got paid last Monday. I don't know when it's coming out yet, but they paid me, so I think they're going to use it.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know, the main goal with that is to have it lead to more stuff, not just be, okay, shut up, stop making fake covers now.
Mike?
Like, I want them to ask me to do another one and maybe put me on interiors. So.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. Sorry, Mike was playing something in the background.
I think he's muted, yeah.
God damn it.
What's happening?
He's on. I don't understand what's going on. He's on my laptop. And my laptop is
I'll
normally
tell you what's
fine.
going on. And every fucking time I hit it, it stops, and then it starts again.
Yeah, don't double click. It's a single
I'm not.
click. Anyway, so
I feel like I'm having... Don't move. Don't move.
It's like there's a snake on your chest. It's like, don't move.
all right. So look, everybody, go help Ben out. He does great stuff. Go check out his work. If you need any artwork, you know he's an artist for hire. He will draw stuff for you. Go to Patreon and become his boss. Get some logo work done. If you're in a band, album cover. Flyer for your next show. You know, anything you can think of.
Arts.
What's that?
He has arts.
I have arts.
He does all the arts.
And you can patronize them.
Right. Yes, you can. You can patronize his arts.
All right. Give me an idea, Ben, for real. Like, if I was like, you know what? I'm a band. I'm really putting out a good show. I want to get some good art. Like, what would you charge me to just do like a flyer, a banner flyer?
I don't know. That's kind of broad. It depends what you wanted, because I would say, oh, $100, and then you'd say some crazy Sistine Chapel type flyer. But I don't know. I mean, general rule of thumb, like anything under $100, I don't really do because it'll take me a certain amount of time, and
Okay.
I gotta buy food. So it's usually like 75 is my real low ball. And then
If someone were like, I just want to do a simple, you know, more of a just a page layout and blah blah blah, real quick, simple, down and dirty.
Quick, again, probably be like 100 or so.
Okay.
Those final finished Ninja Turtle stuff that you see on my site site, the links for those, I do like 250, so it's all down from there.
Sure. Well, no,
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying everyone, artists are, they deserve to get paid, and I think that a lot of people have, because it's so easy. Oh, let me just go on Google Images and find exactly what I want and plagiarize it, and it's not it's a one-off, and it's worth what it's its value.
Yeah, but think about it. Okay, so think about it from this. Maybe not so much, because I know bands are kind of like in the same position you are. It's like $100. Oh my God, we're only going to get $500 for the whole show and blah blah blah. But think about it from a promoter standpoint. If you're a promoter, right, and you're going to have a bunch of bands play that night, you could have the flyer made up, and then you're going to make a ton of money because you're going to make money off of each band that plays. So this would be worth your investment, because if people see a really cool flyer, I
used to be in a band.
Yeah.
And so I know like what I would spend my money on for stuff like that. Like an album cover is something that you're going to print hundreds of. You know what I mean? Like, so take advantage of that artist. Be like, well, we're going to make shirts off it, and we're going to make money off those shirts. Same with the albums and things like that, rather than maybe a poster, unless the poster was also your album cover, and then you're really taking advantage of it because you put it
there you go.
So you're really getting the most out of that, maybe $100, $200.
Right, absolutely. And I mean, and if you're smart and you do it right, you could use it multiple places. Like you said, it could be your album cover, it could be on your T-shirt. You could say, oh well, guess what? It's going to be on my flyer.
Yeah. I'm not at the level yet where I have rules about the reproduction. Really, I'm just like, fine, just pay me.
Right, but if you're going to want something like that as a band, you're probably going to want, to get something really nice done. So, spend the extra bucks. I would say pay Ben, at least $250 for something like that, $300.
And right now, again, there's loopholes. The Patreon is a loophole. You could be my boss there at the bottom. If you just wanted something cool, like, and not specific, like not like, oh, well, listen to my music and tell me what comes to mind. Like, go for the $50 level on my Patreon, and you'll get a cool drawing every month. And you could message me and be like, do you have anything with squids in it? And maybe I do. Like, because I do.
I like squids.
I like squids. Squids are cool. All right, so go to www.bishart.net. To check out all of Ben's stuff. You can find him on Facebook for his new project, The Aggregate. And I'm going to spell that for people who can't spell. So it's facebook.com/THEAGGREGATE comic, C-O-M-I-C, right? And then check him out on Patreon. So in case you don't know how to spell Patreon, it's patreon.com/Bishart. Am I missing anything? No, I think I got them all. And check out all of his good stuff, or you could just be lazy and click the links at the bottom of this video tomorrow when I put it up.
Click those links.
Or it'll be in the text.
Yeah. I have a whole bunch of videos up there now too. I put up a work in progress video of me actually like live coloring one of the Ninja Turtle posters I'm doing. Got a big nice video up top where I'm talking to the camera, telling you about the project and what the money's going to go towards and things like that. So you can at least kill some time there on your lunch break on that Patreon page.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you also Twitter? Do you do the Twitter?
I do the Twitter thing. I don't really like the setup on the phone. I think that the design is terrible. Instagram's really intuitive to me. Maybe it's because I'm a visual person. The thing I love about Instagram is I can click all the different places I want it to go. It's like Woof from The Office, that thing he invented. But I do now copy and paste what I was going to say on Instagram and go and retweet it instead, because it won't show the photo on Instagram. It'll just show the Instagram, or on Twitter, it'll just show the Instagram link. So that's become kind of a hassle. Hopefully somebody steps on that pretty soon. But I do the Twitter, and it's just Bishart. I'm lucky enough to have that handle that I can put on almost everything, because it sounds like Shart and no one wants it. So don't act like you didn't think that the first time you read it. Everybody.
I you know what? I wish I had, because that's really up my valley, but I totally missed that boat.
To be honest, when I first saw Bishart, when I saw that, there's
you
a
thought it.
Jewish, no, there's a Jewish word, Bishart, and I was like, Bishart? Is he like Jewish? Is he going with that whole Jewishy thing?
It's kosher art.
No, I haven't even. I didn't even come up with it. It was really cool. I was in high school. It was freshman year of high school, and I needed a website. And I had this friend who was like, "I'll make you a website," and he was just sucking at it and taking forever. And then one day, this
Don't
kid
say it,
comes
Mike.
in.
I didn't say it.
He was sucking at it forever. No, so then this kid comes in. His name's Will Donahoe. He's a great friend of mine now. But he came in and was like, "Check it out," and he made me a website. And it's the same website I have today, and he named me Bishart, and that was a free website, so I was like, I guess I gotta take it. And so since then, it's been welcome to the Bish store, Bish art, and Bish Tumblr and things like that. So.
No, it works. It's good.
But
And people who love your work are having Bishmance, like a bromance, like a Bishmance.
Yeah, it's a Bishman.
God.
But Pete, you know what? He just said something. Ben just said something that made me realize you and I will never tell a story that started. I was in high school and I needed a website.
No. I was in high school and the Ark was being built, and I asked Noah if I could jump on there with him, and he said, why not?
We are never gonna say that. That's funny.
Oh, my friend back in the antebellum days prior to the Civil War.
So
Me and my Lulu Bell. All right, I'm going to stop. I'll go on all night.
please.
All right, so this is the part of the show where we play a game. And I'm going to put it on Mike and his big giant head.
Don't put it on me yet. I gotta find my pen.
Okay, so he's gonna find his pen. Do we all need pens, Mike? Or are you gonna keep score?
No, well, I was actually. You know what? You're sitting here at your comfy desk and everything.
I shall
You
keep score. I shall keep score.
All right. It's only going to be 3 of you, so don't forget. This is basically Ben. Let me explain this, and
Okay.
we're going to be playing a game called Bet the Geek. It's a video. As I'm explaining this, everyone get your YouTube apps ready, pulled up, ready to go. You'll see it all queued up. Bet the Geek is a game that we've come up with. It's not, we didn't invent it, but we go to conventions, we interview when we can, we interview celebrities. This one is T. Morris. Do you know who T. Morris is, Ben?
No.
Okay, he's an author
Okay.
and a clown, and he and I are basically like brothers from other mothers. And so we get along great. You won't see it as much here. I didn't get a chance to do the gag reel, which I'll do when I do I always get like 2 episodes of this out of 1 video that we do. So you can look forward to seeing the gag reel, which is always funny. There's more banter and stuff back and forth.
Okay.
There is some production value I put into here. You'll see it. But basically, I've asked him questions, and you guys are going to have a bank of 6 points. You may bet up to 3 points to decide, is he going to get this question right or wrong? You will be able to see 3 questions as it'll be explained. You'll see three questions that he answers to get sort of a gauge as to how you think he's going to answer the following question, the following 5 questions. There will be 5 questions. You get up to 3 points to bet. Is he going to get it right or wrong? 1, 2, or 3 in the right or the wrong direction.
Right.
Okay.
So you don't have to know the answer. That doesn't matter. It's does he know the answer?
Correct.
All right.
Sure.
So let me.
All right. Are you pulled up on your? Everyone pulled up
Yep.
on being able to see YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right. And the other thing I have to say is when I hit play, all the mics go mute, and then occasionally I'll stop it when I want to say something in between and whatnot. Okay, so this is how it goes, and we will start now.
Hey everyone, I'm Michael Davis from the MythWits.
And I'm here with T. Morris, which I affectionately call Timo. You should too.
I don't know. Please don't.
It's a new meme. It's the Timo meme.
Timo says,
Timo meme. I has Timo.
I has Timo. Timo says, what up, brother? Timo says, whiter than wonder, yo. Okay.
The Wheezy Bee. Here we go. We are playing today Cube of Death.
Cube of Death.
So, we're going to ask you questions. They're going to get like a baseline of 3 questions, see where you are, and then they're going to take bets on can you get the next ones right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. All right.
Let's see how smart I really am.
Okay.
Let's see if the public education pays off.
Here is the first question. This is a urban fantasy question.
Urban fantasy.
What spell would Harry Potter use to repair a broken glass?
Reparo.
Nice. Comics. Who is generally depicted as a young, red-haired woman with 3 tears running from her left eye?
The only redhead I know from comics is Mary Jane.
Dawn.
Dawn?
That's what the card says.
Oh,
I just read them.
I get it. No, yeah, that one.
This is a sci-fi question.
Sci-fi question.
What is the most important item a hitchhiker can have?
Oh, a towel.
That is correct. Okay, this is a fantasy question.
Ooh, fancy.
Jesus Christ. All right, I was just stopping it for a second. Everyone good? We've all ready to go. Everything's okay.
Yep.
So now you understand. You have 6 points, bet up to 3, and this is a fantasy question. Here we go. Was that, or is it sci-fi? What did I say?
Fantasy.
Fantasy.
Okay.
This is a fantasy question.
Ooh, fancy. Okay, I think I'm good.
What does a Lannister always do?
Oh, he always paces.
It's a slow-ass piece of shit. Okay.
I think he gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Peter.
Oh, this is a year of this, and this happens for the first time on our last show.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, all right. So look, the problem is that he's using my laptop, right? Which normally is fine, but for whatever reason tonight is running slower than dirt. And I think
it's
it
his
has
stolen internet.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. No, I have fast internet. It could also be that we're sharing internet or something. I don't know. We've never had this problem. We didn't have this problem the last time he came up. That's why he came up, because I was like, oh, we'll get a nice, good connection, and fuck a duck. All right, anyway.
Whack, whack.
So is that
Right,
something on Howard?
Is there another
Yes.
question?
Yeah, there are more questions.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty. There's
Let's
plenty.
do the next one.
Let's do the next
Yeah,
one.
so it sounds like everyone is now tied at 9.
At 3 at 3 points or 6 points. Everybody's got 6 points.
No, everyone has a bank of 6. You just bet 3. So
Okay.
everyone has 3.
Everyone's
Everyone has
at
9.
Okay.
All right. And I am going to stop it right before it needs to be stopped. We'll try that.
Yeah.
Oh, he always pays his debts.
All right. We're going to go sci-fi.
Go sci-fi.
What series is famous for the phrase,
So say we all.
Good pause.
God, I was holding my
Yeah.
breath.
I know. I was like,
no. So say we all. Ooh.
I don't know that one.
Okay. Well, you don't have to. Does he know it?
Did you also... Did you also hear?
Makes me think.
Did you also hear the
Sound clip.
that I actually took a sound?
Yes.
Bite? Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah.
I would say he does not know it, judging by that freeze frame we've got here. He
How many
looks kind of
points?
stumped.
You can go up to 3 points.
Oh, I'll bet 3.
Okay.
Oh, Mister, I'm so confident because I've got 3 points for free.
Yeah. It's free money.
That's right.
So, I guess Brian?
Big Brian?
I'm going to go 2. He gets it right.
Yeah, Mike, I'm going to go T. Morris. He tends to know sci-fi. I think he's thinking.
Yeah. I'd have to open the archives a little bit. Just.
It's also tough because I don't know how good your impression was compared to the soundbite. So he might not know based on your impression of "So Say We All."
Oh no, Mike just read it. Mike he overlaid the thing, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I know.
You know what? I'm gonna say 3. He gets it.
3, he gets it. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm going ballsy. I'm going ballsy.
Ballsy.
Here we go.
It's either you or me.
Battlestar Galactica, the reboot from the 21st century. Yep, thank you. That
is for you.
Thank you, right there.
Oh man, that was great.
I can't trust his facial cues. That's just his resting face.
Right. That was his thinking face.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. One of the things I do is I stop them right as they're thinking or whatever's day before. I always try and freeze frame it so that you get that little thing there. That's a little game I play, Ben. I got you.
You're good at
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. All right, here we go. Number 3.
Science and technology.
Wow. Yeah, science and tech, please.
Which planet in our solar system has the hottest average temperature?
How about that? How's that for contemplation?
That's a face there, Timo.
I mean, he should be sitting on a toilet.
Looks like he's trying. It looks
He's
like
actually trying to picture the solar system.
Yeah, he's trying to see which planet is the
Right, he's looking at it right now. Where is that planet? Which one is the hottest?
I'm gonna say I'm not very confident after the last round. So 1 point, 1 point that he doesn't get it.
All right.
The ever so pessimistic Ben.
It's that face of his.
Right.
All right, Brian.
I'm gonna go 1. He gets it right.
1, he gets it right.
Little warm. Yep.
I'm gonna say 2 points that he doesn't get it right.
2 points that he doesn't get it right.
Okay.
And
Let us see.
I'm going to go with the greenhouse effect and go with Venus.
That is correct.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Pulled that out of my butt. Woo.
Don't get
Yeah,
me
yeah.
started.
No.
All right.
Damn you, Timo.
Animation.
All right, so that's for
Yeah.
me.
Give us
Brian.
the score tally, Pete.
All right, currently, Ben, you are at 5 points. Brian is at 12, and I'm at 10.
All right. So here we go. Number 4. There's 5 questions. Remember that. All right.
Animation.
Animation, okay.
In the Masters of the Universe series,
Going back.
what kingdom is Prince Adam from? Think campy.
oh my god. I'm. You know what? Oh, dude, it wasn't even in my timeline, and I remember it.
I know what it is.
Me too.
Yeah, I feel like he's got to know.
The man writes steampunk. I mean,
He's gotta know, right?
I swear, his nerd card. If he gets it wrong, his nerd card is revoked.
Do you know if half the people ever say about them, I'm gonna fucking punch them in the face if they don't get this right?
No, I don't get that extreme like Allegra does, but like
she gets all angry and stuff. But you also got to remember, look, he's on the spot, okay? I mean, until you're sitting in the chair and people are asking you trivia questions, it's a whole it's a whole different thing, you know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he could
like,
get up.
It's like taking an exam.
Right. He could know it and not be able to bring it to the forefront. I mean, we played a game. I was listening to one of our previous episodes. I was trying to get some information out of it, and we were playing the movie poster game, and the zombie movie. See, I can't think of it now again. Zombieland. Zombieland.
Oh, Zombieland. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mike showed the poster, and I was like, I know the movie, I know the rules, I know the actors. I was like, but I can't think of the title. I can't bring it to my lips.
Yep.
I just couldn't get it, and as soon as he said it, I was like, that's right, Zombieland. So, anyway.
Yeah,
so,
Ben, there's a game I play where I take a movie poster and I Photoshop every word off of it, so you just get the picture. It's been pretty popular. I have one in the till ready to go for that too.
I like that. That sounds cool.
All right. Yeah. So okay.
I'm gonna go positive on this because I've been wrong every time. So
Ben, you got to play hard if you want to win.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go big or go home.
I'll bet all three that he knows it.
Okay.
Because how could he not?
Just don't forget, you are home already. So just saying.
It's true.
I'm gonna match that. 3, he gets it right.
He's got to know it.
Well, this could be my chance to take the lead from Brian, but the only way I can do that, because we're getting near the end, if Brian is right and he gets his 3 points, there's no way I can catch up. So I'm gonna go the opposite direction. I'm gonna say 3 no.
Wow.
3 that he gets it wrong.
All right.
And I'm just gaming the system. I think T
Anyone
might get
got
it
a
right.
quarter?
But
Just so you know, I edited this today and uploaded it to YouTube. I make it so that it's private and it doesn't go live until 9:30. So Pete has no way of ever seeing this. Just so you know.
And when Mike was taping these, he was literally had a camera sitting across from him. He ran it all himself while I was in another part of the building.
Yeah. All right. Oh, this is gonna be great.
Play the clip.
Play it.
No.
Think campy.
From the kingdom. I didn't like He-Man, so I'm just going to go with the kingdom of Azrael.
That was the cat.
Really?
Yeah. But Eternia.
Eternia! Right, yeah. Wow, Frank Langella. What was he thinking? Anyway.
Toys and games.
Toys and games.
All right. I was a little bit disappointed, but the edits you did made me smile. So I'm like, okay, the edits made me happy.
I had limited time to edit this. What I was gonna do, usually what I'll do is I had Gargamel ready to go in there, and he was gonna have a speech bubble like, "What the hell are you talking about, Azrael? You idiot!"
Leave my cat out of this.
Right. But I had to do something quick because I love when I screw up something. I'm like, oh, I gotta poke fun at myself. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was the cat. I'm like, well, yeah, it was a cat, dumbass.
It was a cat from another cartoon.
Right.
But I like the He-Man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. T and I are just. I just wish you guys could have seen some of the B-roll footage I have because it's funny as shit.
Well, maybe the season opener. All right.
Number 5.
Toys and games.
Toys and games.
Finish this internet meme. Now, think carefully, because a lot of people get tripped up on some of the grammar. Finish this internet meme. All your bases. All your bases.
All right.
Ooh.
Just so you know, Ben, just to be fair, T is an internet guy. Okay, just so you know, he does a lot of work on the internet. He's one of the earliest podcasters. He co-wrote the Dummies Guide for Podcasting. He's super big. I think he's currently working, or I know he has worked on as a social media expert. So he does have internet's experience, although he is holding his head right now.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he knows it, and
But it's a classic too. It's an old school one.
Yeah.
he let everyone down.
Oh man.
Hey, he let you down with Azrael, so come on.
Yeah. So
Sometimes we can be too old for old school, you know?
They can be.
I'm gonna bet everything I got that he doesn't know what the answer is.
Okay.
Just for the record, Pete, what is everything he has?
2 points.
3 or 2.
2 points, okay.
It's the last question.
It is.
Brian is trying to channel something. I don't know if the answer is on his ceiling, but what's he got there?
I'm meditating, damn it. Okay. I'm gonna go the full 3 points that he gets it.
Okay. So Brian.
Right.
Okay, so he gets it right. All right. So I could just bet 1 point and tie you, Brian, even if I get it wrong and you get it right. But no. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I want there to be a winner. So I'm going to bet 3 points that he gets it wrong. I'm either going to win or lose.
Oh shit.
And I'm gonna lose.
Sorry, Ben.
So
Okie dokie.
All your bases are belong to us. Very good.
I told you, it's a classic. It is a classic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Ben has done something we've never seen before. I don't think we've ever had anybody go to 0.
yeah. I think you messed with the scorecard.
I don't think anyone's ever gotten every one of them wrong.
Well, what can I
That
say?
is an accomplishment.
All my points are belong to you.
Yeah. So the final score is our guest of honor 0, Brian with with 12 points, and me with 10. Brian, you're the big wiener this week.
Pete, did you seriously think that he didn't know that?
No, I knew that I wanted it to be one of those things where it would either be me or Brian, very clear.
Brian, how does it feel? How does it feel that Pete gave you a pity win?
It's not a pity win.
It's a pity you did not vote your conscience.
No, hold on. Let me take that back. I was not confident that he knew. Oh, wait a minute. David got 11 points. So David, you still lost, David. David was playing along with us.
The home game.
Right. No. I didn't know for sure. I mean, I was gambling just as much as anybody. He could have got it wrong. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that a guest got something wrong that they should know, like our buddy Mr. Ben Press, who we still to this day rag on.
Oh, so Ben, are you familiar with Scott Sigler?
No.
Okay, so he's a very popular among a lot of our group podcasters and everything. He's like a horror science fiction horror writer, but he also does a young adult series about football in the future and stuff like that. So I interviewed him very similarly, and we did a game, and we were talking before. We were talking before about Allegra and how just irate she gets when she gets them wrong. You think Brian's bad? Oh my God, Allegra was like, if he does not get this right, I am going on Goodreads and I am going to trash his book.
That's me.
He so got it wrong, and she was like, "That's it, Stigler."
I'm writing a bad review for you. I'm gonna tank your book.
Suppose it.
So, anyway, that is Bet the Geek. So let's do some news real quick, and then we'll let us all go.
Yep.
Let us all free. Because Brian said he had some good news this week. He had a bunch of good stuff.
Oh yeah, there's some good stuff. So on Turkey Day, we're also going to be passing the dinosaur because they just announced that they're going to show the Jurassic World trailer on Thanksgiving Day during the NBC football. Which kind of makes sense, NBC Universal, but they actually released a small 15-16 second clip of the preview footage. You can check it out on YouTube, just type in Jurassic World and you'll find it. And it actually looks really good.
Really?
Like, it looks nice. And what I love about it is they played the familiar theme, but in a more haunting rhythm. It's the same da-na-na-na-na, but it's on piano and it's slowed down, so it's real eerie. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And in other words, speaking of trailers coming out, J.J. Abrams just said that around 100 theaters in the U.S. are going to get to see the Star Wars teaser starting Friday. And it's interesting. He also gave an approximate runtime. The teaser is going to be 88 seconds long. Now remember, this movie is not coming out for a year, and we're already getting an 88-second teaser for the movie.
So Ben, what do you feel? What's your Star Wars vibe? I mean, like, are you a Star Wars guy? Are you?
I like Star Wars. Didn't really care for the new ones, except when Obi-Wan said, "You were like a brother to me." That was the whole point.
Could have just done one movie, but
yeah, could have just done one scene. But I'm really looking forward to the new one. J.J. Abrams is pretty amazing. And everything thus far looks awesome with the actual animatronics and puppets and
sets, not blue screens.
Yeah.
Look, I gotta say, I'm a fan of J.J. Abrams, and I really like what he did with. It's kind of weird. Okay, so I like what he did with Star Trek. I think he made Star Trek kind of fun. Star Trek's always been a little bit on the stale side for me. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is no slight on Star Trek. I love Star Trek. I liked what Abrams did with it. I feel like it wasn't really Star Trek, but I still enjoyed his movies.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be perfect for Star Wars. I think he's a Star Wars director, not a Star Trek director. If you know what I mean, you know where I'm going with that? Because I think he likes doing all that wild, crazy, fast-paced, fun stuff with big effects and but I think we should have a drinking game where every time a lightsaber does a lens flare, you have to take a shot.
Well, he knows about like all.
Yeah, he knows about that.
He literally is like, okay, I'll take that lens flare out. Like, people have brought it to his attention now that I think he's going to be a little bit more careful about it.
Yeah.
He's going to slow down the lens flare a little bit.
Yeah, because if we made that a drinking game, people would be in the hospital by the end of Act 1.
So we might not die during Star Wars, but we'll get pretty good and drunk, surely.
Yeah.
So so we're going to see too many lens flares, and we're going to go.
Yep.
Sorry.
Pretty much.
That was me drowning in alcohol.
Yep. Speaking of Star Wars news, another bit has just been announced. So, according to Slash Films, rumors about the first Star Wars spin-off movie coming in 2016 is probably going to be a heist movie that's parallel to the New Hope story, where it's a heist trying to steal the first plans for the Death Star. So, and also, it looks like it might be centered around Boba Fett as well. So, it's going to be like they're suggesting this could be a bounty hunter. People are thinking it's like like Slash Film says, think Seven Samurai or Suicide Squad meets Ocean 11 in the Star Wars universe. So that might be interesting. And this
So
is
like,
the
wait a
one.
minute. So like maybe like IG-88 and Dengar and what's the lizard guy? Oh crap, what's his name?
I forgot his name, but yeah,
Right.
they're talking about it. But that's interesting because this is
Guido. Guido. What? What? Guido. What?
But what makes this one interesting is this is the spin-off movie that Gareth Edwards is actually going to be directing, especially after his success with the Godzilla reboot. So this is going to be interesting. It's slated to come out in 2016, so we'll probably get more information next year about it.
Hey, don't we have a giant movie coming out or something, like with giants and stuff in it? Oh yeah, Attack on Titan's coming out, right?
Yeah. And let's see, I got one last bit of news here. So X-Men Apocalypse just cast their main villain finally. Did any of you guys ever see Inside Llewyn Davis, that Coen Brothers movie?
No.
That recent one? No?
Never even heard of it.
Let's see, hold on. Because I'm pulling up the actor's rap sheet. Let's see here. What about a most violent year? No go? Well, you guys have movie homework because that's awkward. So Oscar Isaac has been cast to play Apocalypse in Bryan Singer's adaptation coming out May 27, 2016. So that's going to be very interesting because he is also in Star Wars The Force Awakens, playing a mysterious role. So we're going to get to see more of Isaac in the movie industry besides Coen Brothers films about a washed-up folk artist.
Okay.
So that's going to be interesting.
So is he kind of a skinnier dude, or?
He's very rugged. I mean, obviously in Inside Llewyn Davis, he was more thinner because this is essentially a traveling guitar player, practically a homeless guy. But I've looked at him, and he's got like that rugged face that I could see fitting Apocalypse. I mean, if Tom Hardy can turn into Bane after doing like Bronson and all these movies, I'm sure Oscar Isaac can fill Apocalypse boots.
I don't know, Batman. Maybe it was a better job.
I should have been Apocalypse. I was reading somewhere that they interviewed
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, thank you, about Ben Affleck playing Batman, and he said that where he was done with Batman when he heard that somebody else was going to play him, he was kind of like, kind of feel like maybe I should have played him, but then again, no, I'm moving on.
He said he stared off into distance for a good 35 seconds without saying anything.
Yep. Oh,
he's probably
man.
he's probably thinking, "Are you nuts? What's wrong with you people?"
He's biting his tongue, just
right.
He was thinking of ways.
You know what we need to add?
Ways to beat up Ben Affleck.
You know what we need to add? We need to add Christian Bale's like blow up. You know that sound file of him just yelling at people.
Oh yeah, right.
On the soundboard. Oh, good for you.
Good for you, right? Oh, that would be a good one.
Yeah,
a good one.
That one we need to save. Definitely. So I got one last bit, and it's something courtesy of Geekology. I'm actually about to share this. We've all seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yes. It's a given, right? Mm-hmm. Remember Tot, face melting, when they open the Ark? Well, Firebox came out with a $32 melting Tot candle.
Ooh.
I'm about to screen share it right now. For $32, you can get this courtesy of Firebox.com.
I saw
melting
this.
Tot candle.
Yeah. I saw that.
You can relive that awesome moment in cinema wherever you put candles in your house. I don't judge.
In slow motion, you could do a, what do you call that? A time lapse.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And play the sound from the scene. Parallel to that time lapse.
Wait a minute. Take it.
I wouldn't be flashing that on the internet feed.
Oh, yeah. No, you didn't see that. It was on the little screen. I guess you could blow it up. I don't know. You don't have the number on the glass.
But yeah, that's all I got, really. Mostly just trailers coming out this Thanksgiving week. Dinosaurs and Jedi, and we got Apocalypse, and now we have a melting Nazi candle for $32 on Firebox.
Well, Brian, we got one more thing. Somebody I know got his name and some credits on a box or something, somewhere. Some Funimation thing or something.
Oh, God. All right.
Happy birthday.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on.
What are you doing?
Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Okay, I guess I can finally say it. So 2 nights ago, I got a message from some of the colleagues I work with at Funimation, and it was a picture of credits. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And they said, dude, you're in the credits. I'm like, what? Next thing you know, under additional voices, there's my name along with my friend Morgan, and I can finally tell everyone the anime that I voiced in was Fairy Tail, which is a fairly popular fighting-esque anime. So, if you are subscribed to Funimation's streaming service, you can actually catch the episodes I voiced in. I'm like the Where's Waldo now. I'm like Waldo's cousin. Gotta find me.
What is that called?
What, the show?
No.
What I do.
No.
Walla, right? Walla. Okay.
Walla. So instead of Where's Waldo, it's Where's Walla.
Where's Walla?
Where's Walla? That could be a fun game. But yeah,
is it Walla Ovala?
Walla Ovala. That's like a musician's name or something, like a reggae name, Walla Ovala.
Right.
But yeah, so if you guys have the Funimation streaming service, or wait till I believe it's Volume 14 or Part 14 of Fairy Tail comes out on DVD, you might be able to hear me cheering on.
Would you catch it on maybe like Crunchyroll or something?
I don't know how caught up they are.
Okay.
But it doesn't hurt to check. But yeah, you can hear me in the crowds. I even play a couple bit parts, like actual just me, myself, and Irene, just right there. So
right.
You'll find me. It's kind of hard.
I want to hear. You got to give us a line, something you said, and the way you said it. Come on.
All right. Hold on now. Because let me see. What's a good one? Well, no, actually, there's a scene. Basically, it's this tournament arc. All right, it's all these wizard guilds that are about to compete in this tournament, and Fairy Tail is the underdog. Everybody hates Fairy Tail. They always perform poorly, but when they come on stage, me along with some of these other actors were hecklers. And I was trying to remember how exactly I said it, because when we do Wild, they literally say, okay, have at it. No script, no nothing. Just blurt out whatever you would do. And I'm like, it's a bad thing to tell people who are playing hecklers to blurt out what comes to mind, because, this is an 18 plus. I can't remember the line, but I will tell you something I did hear, because we all hear from the same microphone. So someone, I don't know what happened, because during the chaos of all of us yelling, someone shouted out something about tiny dicks, and we all just stopped. And it's like, let's try that again. And then, a funny story, after we did that take, we started singing the song of Ass and Fire or whatever from the South Park parody. Wieners, floppy wieners. We were singing that while we took a break between takes. So instead of a line, I'll give you a funny story behind the booth.
Okay, cool.
No, I wanted a line. Hello? Line.
Oh, God.
Line.
You reminded me of Archer. What is it? Phrasing?
Fun fact, I actually share the same birthday as H. John Benjamin, the guy who voices Archer.
Oh, okay.
We share the same birthday. I thought that was kind of neat.
That's really nice. So, line. Come on, you're like, I know we've gotten like what's the I'm blanking on their names. You blanked on their names last week, and now I'm blanking on their names. Heather and Tyler. I know we got Heather and Tyler to do lines before, but now it's you, buddy.
All right. Hold on. damn, child, chill. Let me think of one. I gotta think of because that session I was doing like 4 or 5 different characters. I gotta think of a good one. Let's see. Damn it, there was this. Okay, I think I got one. So there's a character I play. It's one of, I think, 3 or 4 bandits. It was an actual single role. I'm just paraphrasing here, so don't sue me. I'm gonna give you the gist of it. Because basically we had to kidnap a certain character, but we grabbed the wrong person. So the main character, played by Todd Havercorn, comes after us, chasing us. We're running down this long pathway, and we're just freaking out, yelling at each other. It's a typical Three Stooges whoop, 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 whoop kind of thing. And I'm carrying the kidnappee, and they're just like, "Why did you grab the wrong girl?" I'm like, "They all look the same to me with this helmet."
Okay.
So yeah.
Hey,
And then
Pete?
it leads to just him tackling us, beating the tar out of us, and then just me screaming like Don Knotts. I sounded like Don Knotts during my session. I was just like, "Ah!" The character beats me up, and then we all just ended up being tied up. That was my initiation, being beaten up by the protagonist, by one of Funimation's big actors. It's like, welcome to the company. As soon as I got beat up on stage, oh god, that was so much fun.
Andy, he beat me up. Give me my bullet.
Pete.
Let me.
Is this kind of like when you ask me one little question, say one little thing, and it takes me like 10 minutes? This is what it's like? I'm sorry.
I'll ask
You also
Mike.
have to remember, I recorded this months ago, like back in July.
I'll ask Mike a question, and we're like, he goes around and around, and he's got to tell the story behind the story. Oh, but then I went to the thing, and I'm just like, just answer the question. Like this is all very interesting.
No. She said no. She can't do it this week. That's all I fucking asked you.
All right. You, hey.
I love you, Brian. You're awesome.
Pathetic earthling.
All right. So
that's Pete.
What?
It's. I mean, it's. I don't know. It's 11:12.
Yeah.
This is our last show before we do the break, and we're on break because of next week.
Hiatus.
We have a little bit of time. I mean, Ben, do you mind sticking around? We were just going to talk a little bit about all this, just this past year. I mean, we have actually been going for just about a year. I mean, minus won't have been going for December, and when we come back in what is that next month? January.
January.
We'll have been doing this for a year, so I just thought we'd do a little, quick kind of year in review.
Yeah. Okay.
Yearly recap.
Yeah. So I don't know, Brian, Pete, why don't you go first? Why don't you just talk a little bit about maybe some of your favorite guests, some of your favorite shows, anything that's kind of stood out.
All right. So we Mike and I went to DragonCon a couple of years ago, and we met this guy, Steven Ramsden. And, I was doing an event. I was doing a gaming event, and Mike was just walking around trying to find guests. He was on a recruit thing. And this is back when we were the Con Men podcast, prior to all the video and the coolness. And Steven, oh my God. So Mike finds this guy, Steven. He's like, oh, I got this guy we can interview. He does solar astronomy, looks at the sun and stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we do the interview, and it was an awesome interview, and Steven was this great guy, and we stayed in touch with him. And then we knew once we started this show, we're like, we'll have to have him back on and do a whole thing. And his episode was awesome. I mean, I loved having him on. He's such a passionate guy, and he's very bright, and the stuff he does is really cool. And I don't know. I thought that was just such a home run of an episode. I didn't like the fact that we weren't able to go live with that episode. Yeah. Remember, that was the one that's the only one that we actually did not launch live at all. We had to we recorded it completely local because YouTube was being an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, well, let's go around the horn, and we'll keep coming back around again. Ben, I think that you would probably say this is your favorite episode.
Right, yeah,
Yes.
it's a good one, yeah.
So far, I've enjoyed this one more than the other ones I haven't seen. So.
Maybe you shouldn't go back and watch the other ones, because then you're
Right.
like, what the fuck? I got drafted.
We
It's
set
all
a really
downhill.
high bar. So.
All right. So, all right, Brian, what are you looking back in your year? What's something that stood out right now?
Let's see. Obviously, when I brought Heather and Tyler to the show, that was fun.
That was a good one.
That was one of my. I listened to that episode 2 times in the past year because it's been stuck on my player. But I mean, I enjoyed listening to it every time. So
Well, yeah, it was fun. We all had fun.
yeah.
Especially when we were. Wasn't that like the time you debuted that new game where we kind of looked at like creatures from movies and try to identify them?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
cool.
a funny ass bit.
That was a fun one. Yeah, just that one was great. There's so many good ones, you know. Pip and T. Morris, that was a good
That was
one.
good. Yeah, that was a good
That was a
one.
good
Yeah.
one.
Oh God, the Ben 10 guys.
Yeah.
Duncan
Man
and Joe
of-
Kelly. Man of
Yeah.
Action. Oh my God, that was an excellent. I watched that one recently.
That
and
was-
that was a
that was a
fucking
good one.
awesome. I'll tell you right now, Ben. That's the one you should watch.
Yeah,
you
I
like
love
those guys. You love those guys,
Yeah.
and it was good. They were awesome. They were on
We
point.
had a great time. Yep.
Cool.
Let's see. I'm thinking about which one am I thinking? I'm thinking about. Oh, it was just in my head. I'm trying to pull these up. Oh, when we interviewed Noisy Astronomer, Nicole Gallucci,
Oh,
that was a
our-
fun video. I mean, a fun
Dude.
interview.
That was our first episode that was actually like really funny and was like, you know,
Yeah.
I think
No
I don't
holds
know.
bar.
No, you know what? I say that, but that's not true because Heather and Tyler were pretty funny too.
Yeah.
But that was, I don't know, that for me that was like, that was where we crossed the line and started doing some really funny stuff. I thought.
Yeah, we were starting to come into our own, and we're still. I mean, I just think every show we bring something new, we get more
Oh, yeah.
developed a little bit. So I'm just having a great time doing it. So
Yeah, me too.
some other people we've had, I think, one guest that we've had on as a full guest twice, which was Paul Cooley. We had him on as the what was it? How did you
mucker.
word it? Is it?
He's a
Yeah, that's right.
mucker.
The Fuppet Mucker, and then we had him on recently when he was doing his book Fade to Black.
No,
And,
no.
Paul's
The Black.
I'm sorry, the Black. I'm reading the title of the book. I mean,
Right.
you have
I
of the
called
episode,
it Fade to
rather.
Black, but yeah.
Sorry. Yes. So, let's see. And I mean, a lot of people who have seen it have liked it, and I guarantee you it will even be better this year. My Super Bowl and Super Bowl commercial wrap-up,
Oh, that was
I'm
good.
going to commit to doing that again this year, and it's going to be better because whoever the guest is will even hear it this time.
Yeah.
Because that was another techno-tard moment where Paul couldn't hear it, but he had a fun time laughing and everyone else laughing.
And then, oh, dude, you know, the episode, now this wasn't an episode of the show. This was an interview that I did that I was pleasantly surprised with because I didn't think, you know, initially I didn't think it was going to be that good. I mean, no offense to Steven at all, but I couldn't see it in my head. I figured we'd do what we could with it, and I was like kind of, it's a puppet. We're interviewing a puppet, and we'll see how it goes.
Oh.
But the Death by Puppets skit, that was fucking funny. That was pretty funny.
That was good. Yep. I think you could. That's somewhere. I don't know if that's under
That's
the
on there.
convention playlist or something.
Yeah.
But let's see. What other authors have we interviewed that you guys think was good?
I have one in the can, Jennifer Pobey. That one's pretty decent. We interviewed Scott Sigler for like 2 minutes. I don't know, what is it, it's like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get him on next season. He's agreed to come on, so we'll definitely get him on next season. I'm trying to think. You know, let's see. There was one in here I wanted to mention because I thought was good. Was Brian interviewed Kyle damn it, say
Hebert.
it, Brian Hebert, yeah. That was a good interview. That guy's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Wait. So this season the mid-season opener with Jason Elliott of Gygax Magazine. That was
Yeah.
That was also the introduction of the great Blixdini.
Yeah, who evidently wasn't able to make it tonight, who was planning on being here, but he stood us up.
Yes. Darth. Well, he's evolved into Darth Blix, and Darth Blix was going to make it tonight, but Darth Blix left all of his props at work, so he couldn't.
I thought you were supposed to say Darth Blix got held up at work, but yeah.
Yeah. So Ben, so what I do, it's a play on Karnak, the old Johnny Carson routine, where I put the answers to I put the questions in envelopes and I give them to Mike. So Mike he's never seen them. And then I read the answer, or I'll say the answer, and then Mike opens the envelope and reads the question. And it's like a reverse joke. And some of them are good. Some of them are really, really bad.
Not so good.
Right?
Not so good.
but they're so bad they're funny. It's a pretty funny routine.
Cool idea.
And then I don't know, dude. I think that's about it. We have oh no, Mike. So you have Pete Goes to Kahuna Con. That's a must watch.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I interview we went to Dragon Con not this past. We went this past year, but it was the year before that we taped that one.
Yes.
And it was a 3-night event, so it was 3 parties, and it was like right at the end of the night. So when I go to conventions, sometimes I have a tendency to drink a little bit, and I wasn't being very professional, and I was doing all these like interviews and stuff and covering the party just a wee bit drunk, and it's horrible. It's so bad. It's worth a watch because it's terrible. Because I'm like, so we're at this party and it's great, and if you're not here, you're missing it.
You're missing it. This is the best. You're missing it.
It's such a fucking train wreck. It's so funny. It's like this.
You guys are retarded.
It's terrible. It was basically
good shit, boy.
It was basically
It's
my
funny.
lesson.
I mean,
It's my lesson of not letting myself be on camera drunk because I pay the consequences. Because guess what? Michael put it up on the internet.
I love Premiere.
Yeah. So, and then we can't.
Well,
We can't.
what do we
Wait.
got? Oh.
We can't go any further without thanking our buddy Jay Libby for all of his movie reviews and his little bits that he does. I'm really upset we couldn't play that bit again tonight. I don't know what happened to it. I can't find it on here. I must have deleted it cleaning stuff up. Maybe I thought that we weren't going to use it. It's a shame.
It's a travesty.
And I definitely want to thank all the people who played Bet the Geek with us that allowed us to record them. We still got a lot to go, and we're going to do some more at TotalCon.
Yeah. So. Yep, more in the bank. Oh, and let's see. So we got Scott Sigler will definitely come on the show at some point. We have, who else? Oh, if anyone's familiar with the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe, we've talked at DragonCon. We talked to Jay Novella, and he's definitely willing to come on. And even some of the other novellas and some of the others, some of them are willing to come on at different times. So we're looking forward to being able to interview them. I think we're talking about doing a live show at TotalCon, right?
At TotalCon, yeah. And word has it that it's very likely I'm going to have Mike Pondsmith on the show, who's the guy who wrote the role-playing game Cyberpunk. So pretty big game designer back in the day, and he's just recently releasing a new game that was really big back then called Mechton. So I'll probably be talking to him about that and stuff. That's not completely confirmed. That is tentatively.
He better come on.
It's tentative. No, it's tentatively confirmed. He's probably good with it. I mean, he and I are buddies. I mean, you know.
Confirm it right now.
Pondsmith.
Right. Yes, Pondsmith, you're on the show. Now, it'll probably be fine.
Yeah. So what else? What else type of things do you think we can look forward to over the next year? What are we going to work on during the break, Pete?
Okay, promotion's going to be big. I mean, I'm going to try and reach out and try and promote this show to other people. Because one of the things that's bothering me is that we have a good show. You know, I watch a show and I'm like, man, this is great. And I watch some of the other videos that people put out there's a lot of people put out like really good stuff. That's, I mean, better than what we're doing. And they get like a million hits and stuff like that. But I see a lot of shows where they're not as entertaining as we are, at least as far as I'm concerned. And they've got 150,000 hits. And I'm just like, come on, man. Really? You know, some of our videos have like 40 hits, and I'm just like, that was a great show. So it's just a matter of getting it to people and getting them, to watch it. And some of the stuff I'm gonna be doing over the break is breaking loose the game and the interviews and having them as separate episodes so people can just watch just the interview or just the game. Because I think some of it is they see a video that's 2 hours long and they don't watch it because they don't have time for it.
Mm-hmm. Right, I agree. The other thing we can look forward to, what was that? Oh, I talked to Pete. You're on board with this. Some of the guests we can look forward to getting next year are going to be like, I'm looking into getting more YouTube stars. So I think we talked about, what's his name? I think he's called the Black Nerd.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, yeah, Andre, Black Nerd Comedy.
Andre, Black Nerd Comedy. That's what it is. I've kind of stumbled across him, and I thought, I think he'd be kind of cool to have on the show. The other thing we're going to commit to technically is getting like all of the episodes stripped down to podcasts, audio, and in a feed. I'm still having trouble getting them to my Android phone, but they're all available. Or the first, the first 10 or more?
The first 10
available,
so far, right?
Are available on what's it called?
On iTunes.
On iTunes. So I don't know if anyone has any thoughts on that. Email us. As a matter of fact, we never really advertised that. That's another thing we got to do is get some more uniformity on the show. As far as if you'd like to get in touch with the MythWits, you can contact us at. What the hell is our address? MythWits.com or something.
Yeah. No, it's in the closer. You guys just never. You guys never hear the closer. It's all in the closer.
Oh, that's right. We never hit the. It's like we're in the dark. We sit there fucking inside this mushroom. We have no idea what's going on.
What do you guys think of the new intro? Did you like that?
Yeah,
I definitely think so. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we can do a closer like that too. I'll come up with a closer to where we're doing a live closer where we're all part of it. You guys can jump in or whatever. Step on my closer if you'd like you did my intro. So, all right, let's let Ben go. Let's let us all go. I got to get up and go to work tomorrow. I got a long fucking day tomorrow. Ben, thanks for coming on. It's Ben Bishop, and I will read out your stuffs real quick one more time. So it's bishart.net, bishart.net. That's bishart.net.
Don't forget an asshole. What an asshole.
And you can go to his Patreon. It's patreon.com/bishart.
He's gonna stick in people's memory. Like
it will. It makes it more sticky.
Like G.I. Joe and
B.I. Shart. So you can also, you can also find him on Facebook. You should have never told me that. You can find him on Facebook.com, the Aggregate Comic, and that's it. That's all the links I have for Ben. But check out his stuff. Go give the man $1 at least on Patreon.
$1.
That's right.
$1. I mean, come on. We went to Starbucks. Look, we went to Starbucks yesterday, and I got a coffee, or I got this really like frilly chai tea latte, right? It was like
$6.
Yeah, I was like
$4.
What? So
and people do that every day.
Right, they do that every day. Oh, man. It's a coffee.
One coffee.
It's like one. It's like those Africa videos. It's like for the price of one coffee, for less than a cup of a coffee.
Right. So
you can get Ben to draw you screwing a Pokemon for the cost
Stop
of
Stop.
Maybe a few more coffees than
Fourth. It's gonna be
fourth.
Jesus,
that's what
Mike.
you really want, isn't it?
All right.
That's what Mike wants.
Mike,
the Mike wants what the Mike wants.
So Mike, you know what, Mike? You keep it up. Ben, I'm gonna pay you to draw Mike as a furry.
Oh shit! Oh no! Oh you fucker!
I think we ought to do that anyway. Yeah.
Mike has this aversion to furries, and I think if we could draw him like maybe in a picture with a furry rubbing his back, that would be nice. Or
No, make it like Five Nights at Freddy's. It's just him, just frightened, just with all these costume characters around him.
The furry close up in my face, just going.
Scary game, by the way. Five Nights at Freddy's, terrifying. It's.
No, I think Mike needs to be in a picture enjoying his time with the furries.
Yeah.
No, the furry is just like behind me, up on my face, just going. Let it happen.
I think you're braiding the furry's tail.
No.
Right. Absolutely, yes.
I'm carefully saying certain things because I might make some people angry.
Right. Hey, Brian, the views of Mike and Pete are not expressed by Brian. How's it go? Are not necessarily Brian's opinions.
I have an image to uphold now that I have an acting career. I love all my fans.
All right, Don Knotts.
I love my fans.
All my fans. Damn it, you beat me to it.
Oh my god.
I was turned into a fish once.
All right. That's it. Good night, everybody. I'm running the closer. Shut up.
All right.
You've just enjoyed the MythWits. Join us for a live broadcast next week and every week, Mondays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you miss our live show, you can always catch the encore episodes and the podcast version at our website and on iTunes. Make sure to check out our website at mythwits.com, and of course visit us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and iTunes. MythWits is a Studio187.com production and is protected under an attribution, non-commercial, no derivatives, Creative Commons work. You can download and share it with whoever you like. Just don't change it and don't try to make money with it. Make sure to check out Studio187.com for more cool stuff. See you next week.